And I'm sure there are countless listeners listening to this episode who have half-finished applications they've been putting off, or companies that they really want to apply to but haven't started yet. So just starting at the very beginning,
Sure.
What exactly is procrastination?
Well, procrastination, I guess, if you're looking to define something, one of the best ways you can define something is by defining what it's not, or perhaps defining the opposite of it. So the opposite of procrastination is to be punctual and to be able to deliver something on time, and to be able to work towards a certain deadline and perhaps deliver something before the deadline or at the deadline. So the opposite of procrastination is being punctual. So I suppose procrastination itself is basically putting something off when you know that you're going to be worse off by delaying whatever it is that you need to be doing. And just to be clear, actually, not all forms of delay can be defined as procrastination. So just because you're putting something off doesn't mean you're necessarily procrastinating. But the key thing is, if you're putting something off and you're going to be worse off by waiting another day or waiting another week, then you are procrastinating.
And it's a topic which has impacts when you are applying for jobs. I know.
Absolutely.
With looking at applications to the grad scheme companies I've worked for, there'd be a massive spike towards the end of the deadline.
Oh wow!
When suddenly all these applications would come flooding in, but you're doing yourself a disservice because if you get them in early, the recruitment team would have, say, maybe 20 minutes, half an hour to look at each application. Yeah. When you wait to the end, when suddenly hundreds are arriving on the same day, it's going to be very difficult to stand out from the crowd.
Absolutely. And the interesting thing is, you'd think that, okay, well, procrastination is something which affects mainly students, because students tend to have coursework deadlines and all sorts of deadlines which are not really imposed on them as much. So, for example, when you graduate and you're working at a job, you've got hard deadlines. If you don't meet those deadlines, you'll probably get a bad review, and who knows, you might get canned or fired from the job if you don't meet these deadlines. But when you're at university, you sort of have the freedom, and you don't have someone on your back telling you have to meet this deadline, otherwise you're going to get fired or you're going to be expelled from the university. So you'd think that students probably struggle more because they've got these deadlines and they have no one on their back pushing them. But actually, even in post university, people do struggle with it. And the perfect example is people that have to file tax returns. So people who are self-employed. The deadline for submitting tax returns is the 31st of January. And funnily enough, HMRC receive a massive chunk of tax returns a couple of days before the deadline. Like, people just leave it too late. And then towards the last couple of days, people start to submit stuff. So it's a pattern which is common, not only at university, but even after you graduate. So it's definitely something that's always worth being able to manage. And just putting things off just tends to always put you in a very bad position.